What's poppin', everybody? This is the cartoon kid Ray Rawlins, and today we're dipping back into season 4 of some Rick and Marty, man. Episode 2, The Old Man in the Seat. Spoiler alert, I gotta say, man, whew, Rick and Morty kind of had me scared last week when we reviewed episode 1. I was kind of scared. I was really kind of shitting myself. But I will say they regained my trust. So, before we get into the reviews, the moments, and all that good stuff we talk here on the Cartoon Kid channel, where we talk cartoons and we do it daily, baby. Alex Payne, give us that episode breakdown. Let's hear it. What happens?
Well, this episode is a bit complicated, so I'm going to describe it in a different format than I normally do. Because this episode has a B, and C plot. I'll say the A plot is following Rick as he goes to his secret hiding spot to take his dump. And he realizes that someone else used his toilet. So he basically goes into detective mode, trying to figure out who shot in his toilet. And he finds out who does it. And the guy, actually I'm blank, the guy was named Tony, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So the guy's named Tony. If it's not that, well, then we're fucked. But anyway, so he finds out Tony, and he finds out that Tony is, very similar personality and struggle to him, so he can't really bring himself to kill the guy for shitting in his toilet. But so that's the A plot. The B plot is Jerry, against the advice of Rick and everyone and the tattoo on the alien's forehead, develops the aliens app, which basically is a dating app that makes everyone fall instantly in love, madly in love with the person that they're matched with. And so Morty and Jerry, that's such a weird combination to say. Morty and Jerry have to go on the mothership to get them to shut down the app. And the C plot is a bit more simple. It's basically just Beth chasing down Summer, trying to keep her from fucking all these people. So basically, yeah.
I gotta say, man, if I had that app, I'd be getting tapping so much ass. It would not be funny, boy. Ooh, I'd probably get something too. But I will say this.
Hey, listen, the way it was going sometimes sounded like someone would have been tapping your ass at one point, because there was gay relationships at some points.
Well, yeah. You know what? You're right. I could go into all of that because Jerry, that nigga kind of sus, because that's the only one I remember, to be honest with you. I do have to say this. My first impressions. This episode did have a lot going on in it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it felt like a lot less was happening in this episode than there was the week prior in the premiere. Like, it felt more like Rick and Morty-ish, but Rick and Morty weren't together. They weren't on their own little separate adventures. So,
yeah, fun fact, this is the second episode in a row that they're on their separate adventures.
Really? Is it?
Yeah, because remember the first one, they wasn't together.
What was the first? I mean, you can argue they were, though.
No, they only came together at the very end, but the majority of the episode, Rick was off on his own trying to figure out his way back to the place, and Morty was off doing his own shit with the crystal.
Oh. You know what? Yeah, you're right. It didn't really cross my mind like that. Okay. I'll give you that one. But I will have to say this, man. Jerry, this man is always fucking shit up. And I don't understand. Listen, he needs to get his ass severely beaten, okay? Only moment that really stood out to me prior to this, and I'm sure there's a lot more, was the one with the fucking Meeseeks boxes in season 1. Yeah. It's just like, listen, Jerry.
And the alien bitch.
Oh, yeah. The evil. Oh, yeah. Oh, she was going to fuck them kids up. Listen, I got to say, Marty hit it right on the head. When he started breaking down, like, how he thought the little adventure was going. He's like, man, don't fuck any more shit up, man. But that's as far as it goes with my first impressions, man. I got to say, like I said, spoiler alert, this episode was really damn good. I'm really high on this episode, honestly.
My first impression
was... I will say this, too. I kind of see where Rick's coming from, because there's nothing better than having, like, your own special toilet seat, your own little private bathroom, where you just motherfucking on that bad boy, just shitting your life away. And it feels good. Like, listen, I'm pretty sure everybody's been on the motherfucking toilet, taking a nice, good-ass dump, and they're looking at Twitter or they're looking at YouTube on their phone, man, that's the best shit in the world. You be in that bitch for like 10 minutes looking at that shit. Or if you're
So,
another person who likes to fucking smoke cigarettes on the toilet, you know, not me, but I just
truly,
like looking at my phone. Anyway, I can see where Rick's coming from too, but go ahead.
for the record, never use your phone on the toilet. But my first impression was, like you said, it's kind of strange because this episode, like you said, it doesn't feel like as much is going on as you kind of think it, like you would think. Because like both of the plot threads, though interesting, and I'm not saying it's bad for this. I'm just saying like they seem kind of simple. As weird as it sounds, like it seems like there's so much going on, but there's not that much going on at the same time.
Right.
But
and then it did feel like a good episode. Go ahead.
no, it was definitely a good episode. Spoiler, but it was a really good episode. I feel like, but like that's what I'm saying. Like it was so strange how like it felt like there was so much going on, but yet so little going on at the same time. But for me, the moments though to head into that, even though this isn't chronologically in order, I just have to mention this first. When friggin' Rick found Homeboy sitting on his toilet again, and he was in the giant robot Rick costume or whatever, and then he just pulled his pants down and sat on the nigga.
Oh yeah. he just fucking put the cheeks on his ass. He did not give no fuck. I just like how the cameras went zoomed in on him, and all you see Rick go boom. It's like, oh my goodness, whoa, you just got the mole cheeks put on you, boy.
Like I have to I just have to mention that one first. But
I do like the moment too where I guess you could say Rick finally finds out it's the guy who was fucking doing that shit, and he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna stop doing it or whatever, and Rick puts like a little bomb in there and just hops in the portal and just blows the whole fucking place up.
But
Rick don't play, man. I fuck with Rick hard.
You know, the fly was funny. It's like I'm a fly in a place full of frogs. I'm a drug dealer and I sell guns. And you're asking me about a sandwich. There's some million things more interesting about me than that.
And Rick just comes out, yeah, you sold the sandwich or da 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 woo woo. And man, it's just so crazy because he's doing all this other illegal, underhanded shit. And the dude already said you gotta make a swarm of enemies or whatnot. Rick don't give a fuck, man. He do not give a fuck over a fucking sandwich, trying to track that nigga down. I'm like, man.
So I need to find out who's shitting my toilet. Is that a drug slang? If that's drug slang, I need to know what it is.
I gotta say too, like the moment where Summer finds this dude on the dating app and whatnot, and Beth's like, statutory rape, my underage daughter. And homeboy was like, listen, man, we really don't give a fuck about that shit. We do not care. Like, what happens.
This is a motel. We don't come here to be dealing with other people's problems.
That's some sick shit. That's some sick ass shit, man. But hey, listen, I fuck with hotel dude because I would have been on the same shit. Hey, that ain't my business. Shit, I'm doing my shit. Fuck that.
But the last moment I have to mention, and it's the last moment, and I'm probably gonna steal it from you, is when, you know, Rick realizes he dead. The homeboy died.
Oh yeah.
He goes and sits on the trap that he set up for him. Like basically, like
it's a very like. All the holograms are talking to him, just fucking disgracing his ass.
And I feel like that's a very like, and I feel like it's kind of early in the season for this type of thing, and I feel like that kind of tells me that this season is probably gonna be a lot of. Then again, I guess, well, no, this season is gonna be a lot about like Rick's struggle with himself, I guess, because you know this whole that whole plot line was basically saying like, because it was, you know, they were similar in the fact that homeboy wife died and Rick's wife died, leaving them both empty and all that other shit, and it's like,
yeah.
So then at the end when he realized he was dead, like, you know, he basically was sitting on the toilet and let all of them dog the shit out of him pretty much, and was like, it's a very like, I guess you could say deep moment for his character. Because he's basically like admitting that he's alone and all that other shit, and all these people, all like basically admitting that he ain't shit. Long and short of it.
It's kind of fucked up too, because I mean, realistically, yeah, the whole family is fucked up in general. But like Rick, he ain't alone. He got Morty. He got his family. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like he is kind of alone. So it's just I think the part that really got me was when like his wife finally tells him that he dies and whatnot, and Rick gives him all this shit, talk about yeah the toilet's yours, basically trying to set him up for the trap and everything. And I'm just like, man, so Rick must be feeling some type of way about this shit. He kind of surprised, like, oh yeah, don't eat that. You don't want that. Oh man. But the whole like what you say is your favorite plot out of this? Plot A, B, or C as you broke it down? I say,
Uh,
well, I think that goes without saying. Rick obviously had the better story here, obviously.
yeah,
But
I
I
would
did kind of
say,
like the Jerry one too.
yeah, I would say the um see that's the if you want to break it down into funny, interesting, and all that other shit. I would say the first plot was probably the most interesting. I
Right.
kind of want to say the second one was the most funny, but then again the Rick one had more. Well, I wouldn't say more, but like because the robot sitting on him was funny, the flag was
Yeah.
funny, and all that. I
Yeah.
don't
No.
know.
No. Rick, without a doubt, in my opinion, is the most funniest.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Jerry and them were kind of like the C-rate plot. Like, I mean, yeah, it's cool, but we
yeah.
could have done without that. But then again, you wouldn't have had the summer plot either. But either way, Rick, I say hands down, had the best plot out of all of them.
Yeah, that's it. I
Um,
think I should agree with that. Yeah.
we can cross in a review right here. I gotta say, I mentioned it before, and I'm mentioning it one more again. This
One more
episode,
again.
yeah, that's my uncle's. Don't blame me. Anyway, this episode definitely had episode one beat hands down, way better, way Rick and Morty ish, if that makes sense. It didn't. The last episode felt kind of odd, but this one was right on point. Like it was something different. It was something. I guess you could say new. Would you say it's a new feeling or classic feeling episode? I say it's kind of new feeling with a little bit of classic in it. They did a lot in this episode for sure. Plot wise, they managed all three storylines pretty well, and they had two intertwined with each other, the Jerry and the Summer story, and we didn't
Yeah.
mention the fight between Summer and Beth, which I thought was pretty dope. They was getting it in, man. Listen,
Yeah,
Summer
I'm a
wanted
daughter
that
the
D.
fuck out of you.
Summer wanted that D. Okay, and Beth was not letting it happen, so they had to get into a little fisticuffs. They had to get in a little street fight, which I thought was cool. And it's just the whole thing that amazed me is the management, the management of the plots. Okay, like they all intertwined perfectly. Like except the Rick, Rick was on his own doing his own thing, but they fit all that into a little 30-minute time limit. So, which was pretty dope. I like that. Good storytelling, good time management, and you guys stuck well to the characters, in my opinion. So, for that, I'll give this honestly. I'm gonna shoot for the moon here. I'm gonna say, ooh, maybe a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I'm feeling this one to be an 8 out of 10. I was digging it. What about you?
Um. Uh. I don't know. I think I might even if just not even if only for the you know super deep, I guess you could say, ending and everything. Because I feel like that ending was kind of on par to me at least with the ending of the autoerotic assimilation when he like tried to kill himself and like just missed it from passing out or whatever.
Yeah.
Like in terms of whatever, but this is a nitpick on this, which I'm not gonna affect anything. I just kind of want to mention it. I feel like they should have left. They should have let the music continue on into the credits.
Right.
Cause
Okay.
cause I feel like because it had the nice music, it had all the people, all the Rick's dog in them and stuff, and then and then you just hear the intro theme just cut into the emotional music, and it kind of like dampens or spoils it for me a little bit.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
I think they should have kept that going, or just go into silence for the credit or something like that. They shouldn't
Speaking
have
speaking of
reintroduced the
music,
music.
I like the fact that Rick listens to hip hop. I fuck with that, man.
No, but nah, I don't because that new song he was listening to was terrible.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but
So I
listen,
don't give him credit for that.
Rick's an 80-year-old man. And he fucks with hip hop, so I fuck with him. But go ahead.
But yeah, but like I said, I just wanted to mention that as like they shouldn't have did that. But anyway, But I'll have to give this episode, like you said, the plots, even though, and I guess the multiple plots is probably the reason why it felt so, why each of the plots felt so simple. And
Uh-huh.
again, not in a bad way, because overcomplicated isn't always good and simple isn't always bad. Um, so this gives me the vibe of, see, I was thinking that this was just three ideas they had and they wanted to put them together because of because all of them were kind of short.
Right.
Even though they maybe could have made like a full half an hour out of the Rick one if they really wanted to, but so I felt like, but then again, like, 'cause since the Summer and the Jerry one are so connected, you could argue that. Um, then again, I who knows? It's complicated, man. But what I'm saying is, you could tell they put
I can
multiple
tell you're
ideas
having a lot
together.
of time thinking about this.
Yeah, they put a few ideas together. Is all I'm saying. Okay, but
Right.
at the end of the day, though, I'll give the episode. I think I'll give it the same as you. I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was
I think
done
that's
very
very
well.
fair. Yeah, I think that's very fair compared
You
to
know what? No,
whatever I gave it for the.
I think I'm gonna
Okay.
give it a 7.5.
Oh, you switching to the Ray Rollins classic, boy. But still, it's a very good episode, and that's the main
No,
point we're
yeah.
trying to convey here. So it's
And plus,
a very good episode.
I want to give it a little wiggle room for better episodes in the future.
Of course, yeah. I can agree with that. But there you guys have it. Ray Rollins, that's me. I gave it an 8, and Alex Payne gave it a 7.5. This has been our review for Rick and Morty, Season 4, Episode 2, The Old Man in the Seat. Tell us what you think about this episode in the comments down below. If you like what we did, hit that like. If you didn't, hit that dislike. Hit that sub, unsub, I don't know. Whatever you guys feel like doing, do it. Interact with us because we fuck with you. But we will continue all the cartoon talk and everything, man. This is the Cartoon Kid channel where we talk cartoons and we do it daily, baby. And we will see you tomorrow for our first impressions. Peace.